Sometimes living on the road in an awesome bus with an awesome family mixed with things like Lego stop motion can be challenging, but I'll show you how I did it. So we are staying with a friend here in Oklahoma, and she owns a campground, and she had an extra fifth wheel here on her lot, and she allowed me to use it so that I may finish my last stop motion video that I did. So it was in here that I finished filming Billy Marco's ice fishing. Up this here, SanDisk drive. So this is it, guys. This is the room that I filmed Billy Mark Goes Ice Fishing in, and this is actually the place that I did it. Standing was a little different. Normally I like to get comfortable and sit. It's not a bad idea, honestly, because I don't feel good when I just sit and sit. But yeah, this is where I did it at. Today I'm going to be making a tutorial on how I did the editing and the sound effects in a specific sequence in the last stop motion video.
Billy. Ah! Billy, wake up, wake up!
What is it?
Shark! There was a shark.
That's ridiculous! Sharks aren't in frozen lakes!
But... Billy.
So when it comes to editing a stop motion video, there's really not a whole lot that you have to do as far as like cutting clips and whatnot. When I'm doing stop motion, I generally try to shoot for the shots that I know that I'm going to use. So with like a regular live action film, for instance, basically take a bunch of shots, take a bunch of angles and stuff, and there will be portions of those angles that you're not going to use. In that case, that's where editing comes in handy. In stop motion, it's different. There can be some parts of some clips that you can trim up. And also when it comes to stop motion and planning a sequence like this, storyboarding is actually a great way to do it, but I can basically see in my mind which would be better when transitioning from shot A to shot B. If the stop motion video is short enough or just like focusing on one sequence, then I can basically storyboard it in my mind and know exactly what I'm doing. But on another hand, for some people, storyboarding is a lot more helpful. So the music I'm using for the Billy Mark stop motion film is called Filmstro. This is a website that creates customizable soundtrack. I've talked about this actually before. In the Billy Mark's Dojo video, I used them. This was the first time I used them, and I was really happy with them.
Now wait a minute! Can we talk about this? No!
So if you're doing a stop motion film or a short film, using their music is the best, because there are certain moments in a film that you want to be able to control the music, create different feelings for different moments. I'll put a link for them in the video description. I definitely recommend checking them out. To start by adding sound effects for this sequence, you basically want to add an ambient sound. Throughout the film, while they're in the ice fishing shack, I add these wood creaking sound effects, and it's to kind of give the effect that the shack that they're in is more rustic. The interior of this shack almost looks like a pirate ship or some kind of ship. And also you may be wondering, where am I getting all my sound effects? I use the majority of my sound effects on my program Final Cut Pro X. I also can get some sound effects for free on YouTube. So now let me go ahead and move into the thudding sound effect where the shark's like under the ice. I first started by adding a little bit of a whoosh sound, just a little bit. Very faint, but it's in there. Next, an ice crack sound effect. And then I needed a very deep, bassy sound effect. Many times I'll take things like this sound effect. It's called explosive hit. So in Final Cut Pro X you have lots of effects. So I added a monster effect just to really muffle it up. And then I added a muffled effect on top of that to make it sound even more deep. And then to make each one sound a little different, that way they're not all exactly the same, I will take some different kind of ice crack sound. Next, I want to touch on the shark bite. Now, I was not quite so sure how I was going to get this sound effect. To start with, here in Final Cut Pro, they have a tiger roar sound effect. Then this next one. Now, I think what I did was I searched, I don't know, probably eat or bite or something like that. I came across chip bite. Let me see. Added lots of effects. Added a muffle effect and a monster effect, and it worked great. So with just those two sound effects, it sounds deep, but it doesn't sound like a powerful bite. So what I needed then was like a snap sound. A sound effect here on Final Cut Pro of an arrow impacting wood sound effect. I added a cathedral sound just to kind of give it an echo throughout their ice shack, and a monster sound just to make it a little more deep. So I was pretty happy with the way that turned out. As far as the voices go, we had a written script. We stood in the hallway of our new bus because it was probably the most soundproof room. Set up a mic stand, read off the vocals, and acted it out. So I'll go ahead and touch on a scene that I did. Lots of editing and layering, I guess you could say, visual effects. I did it on this scene right here where Billy Mark is walking to the ice shack. This was the original shot. Looks nothing like the finished shot. I needed to create something that made it look like a super big frozen lake. I cut a piece of the set in post that I already had, re-added it in the background. This is probably the one shot that I spent the most time on. Next, I found some pictures of some Lego trees, added a bunch of trees in the background, and then took a drone shot of like a sunset that my dad actually took many years back, added it in the background, and it just turned out so beautiful. Then of course I added in the snow. So actually what I did with the snow, I wanted to give the snow almost like a stop motion look to it. You know how stop motion, I mean, I do my best to make stop motion as smooth as I can, but there is just a little bit of like choppiness. Not like bad choppy, but like, you know, it looks like stop motion. I kind of wanted to make the snow falling look like that, so I basically just slowed it down to 50%. I don't know, just kind of fit more into a stop motion style, I guess you could say. Anyway, guys, that's just about it for today. I hope that this tutorial was helpful to you in making your stop motion or even films better. Like this video if you enjoyed it. If you give it a like, then it just kind of helps get the video out there to more people that may also find this video useful to them. Subscribe and click the bell if you haven't already, and you will be notified the next time I post a video. Comment in the section below and let me know what you think, and I will see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.
I did the voices for Isaac.
Can you say that a little better?
Okay, yeah, I'll say it a little better. Why are you filming? Filming for no reason. How am I supposed to do it? Am I supposed to do it like kind of?
Hurry up.
Hey everyone, I did the voices for Isaac in the video. Billy Mark goes fishing. Is that good?
Sure.
Okay. Whew. That was nerve-wracking.